Isaiah here with another whiteboard training video, and I have to show you some of these resumes that I'm going through. They are awful. They are god awful, and that's okay to say, because until you as a PhD wake up to the fact that you have no idea how to structure a resume for industry, you have no idea how to structure a bullet point, nothing will ever change. If your resume looks like these resumes or has these bullet points, I'm going to go through them. Make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to read off some of these actual resumes for you as well. Until you make these changes, until you learn what you're doing wrong, you will never get hired. You'll never even make progress in your job search. You'll never have an employer comment, reply to your resume. You'll never have a phone screen. So let's look at these examples. These are actual bullet points, okay? Number one, highly skilled researcher with extensive experience. What's wrong with this? I'm highly skilled. Great. In what? Okay, so an employer sees this. I'm skilled. Yeah, great. We all have skills. What is your skills in? Are your skills relevant for this specific job? This is way too generic. And look at this word. Oh, you said highly skilled instead of just skilled. Now I'm going to hire you. Give me a break. Look at this. With extensive experience. I bet your resume, I bet your LinkedIn profile right now has one of two things. Extensive experience or 10 years of experience, 5 years of experience, right? 15 years of experience as an immunologist, whatever. What does that matter? You have experience, great. Have you done anything with that experience? Experience, generic, awful bullet point. Never do that. Employers look at this. They see one look at this like, this is a generic bullet point that's written clearly by an academic. Goodbye. Number two, investigated. First of all, what's wrong with this? Academic word. Is this an industry word? Investigated? No. Awful word choice. The impact of reflective and collaborative learning activities. Reflective. What does this word even mean? Right? It's probably some word related to the type of research or some technical skill or some experimental procedure. Means nothing to the employer who's a hiring manager or recruiter without a PhD, by the way. And collaborative. Now, I like the word collaborative. At least that's a transferable skill. Learning activities, again, more academic. You learned. Wow, congrats, you learned. What did you produce? What result did you achieve? In veterinary education, again, another academic word. Could you look like more of an academic? Okay, do you see what's wrong with that bullet point? One look, one quick skim by an employer, and they're spending 5 to 7 seconds on your resume on the first pass. You're going in the garbage. You're not even going to get to an employer. You're going to get weeded out by the applicant tracking system software. Number three, took initiative to advance my programming skill in R language. Now, that's okay if R language, right, is listed on the job posting, but likely it's not. Right? R language is a general thing that a lot of PhDs are learning right now, and we think of it as some amazing skill, because this is how most of you write your bullet points. You say, what sounds the most impressive? Forget about what's on the job posting, right? We read the job posting, we jump to the skills we don't have, which it makes us immediately not want to apply to the job posting. But if we do apply, we're going to overcompensate, right, for what we don't have. Instead of targeting it to the job posting, we're going to think, what sounds the most impressive? Oh, I know how to do some programming in R. I'm going to list that on the resume because it sounds impressive. Maybe to my academic friends or to me, it's the most impressive thing I can think of in the moment. Has nothing to do with the job. Do you see the problem? It's got to be targeted. You can't just think of the things that sound impressive, the technical skills you learned that are probably being done by robotics, right? Or technicians in academia, in industry. They want to hire you for your mind, your ability to manage people, manage experiments, manage the technical side, okay? Why else would they be hiring a PhD when they could hire somebody with a bachelor's for half the price? Your bullet points have to be PhD level. They have to be industry specific. Number four, demonstrated the significance of fibroblast growth factor 15. Already sounds like the title of an academic seminar. Sounds like a thesis title. I cannot believe how many PhDs do this. You're putting your thesis title in your resume. Really? The hiring manager, the recruiter has no idea what you're talking about. I don't understand how you can not consider your audience when you're writing your resume and you want to get an industry job. Demonstrated the significance of fibroblast growth factor 15 in the liver, cholesterol transport, and vertical sleeve metabolism. Again, what sounds the most impressive? Too specific. Has nothing to do with the job posting. It's a highly specific technical skill. Guess what? The vertical sleeve, I didn't do that specific research. I have a PhD. I don't even know what that's talking about. let alone a hiring manager or recruiter with they have no knowledge of what you're doing specifically. They don't even know what the phrase in vivo means, okay? For those of you that are life scientists, etc., just to give you a reference point. You need to speak to your audience. Where are the transferable skills? Number 5, finally, widened access. This is where we get too creative. Widened access. It's academic, number 1, and it's like what, you advanced something? Don't use a more complex word when a simpler word will do, okay? To microRNA biology in collaboration with the Smith Lab. I seriously see this all the time. You're naming a lab. Oh, that's a really impressive lab in academia. Guess what? Nobody outside of academia has ever heard of that PI. They've never heard of that professor. They might as well not even exist. Why are you mentioning their name on your resume? Don't do this, okay? And as far as resume structure goes, okay, here's what not to do, right? You have a summary, and then you have a bunch of sections. Some sections have 1 bullet point, if you can see that. Some sections have 3. At least there's a professional summary at the top, but there's short bullet points with no quantified results. Employers in industry care about what you have achieved, right? Resulting in XYZ publications, presentations, collaborations, a numerical value. It's not so much what the result is, but the fact that you can speak in terms of results. And look at this, the second page of this example resume. This is all publications. Look at this, 2/3 of a page. Your industry resume should be 2 pages or less. 2/3 of a page of publications. Oh, you put the volume and issue number of the publication. Great job. Who cares about the volume and issue number? If you're using a works cited or publication software on your resume, you're doing it wrong. Okay, they'll ask for your publications if you even make it to the phone screen. But if you fill up your resume, the entire second page or 2/3 of the second page with your publications, you're never going to get a phone screen. Finally, I see this all the time too, so I have to show it. Here's another resume. What's at the top here? Education. And the summary is like an objective statement, which is way outdated, okay? Your professional summary should have your 3 biggest career highlights as bullet points. By the way, your bullet points all should be structured. It's our 3-point proprietary bullet point strategy. Start with a transferable skill, connect it to a technical skill. So for example, innovator with expertise in XYZ technology, only if that technology is on the job posting, resulting in 3 discoveries related to ABC, something else that's specific for that job posting, right? Other quantified results you can include are collaborations. You're not going to use the name of the lab you collaborated with, right? You just mention what the result is. What did it lead to? An amount of grant funding, a presentation? It doesn't matter what the result is, but speak in terms of results, quantified results specifically. If you want to learn more about this, go to cheekyscientist.com. You can learn about our flagship program that gets PhDs like you hired in industry. It's the largest platform in the world that gets PhDs hired, the Cheeky Scientist Association. You can go to phdsgethired.com. It's an easy way for me to say it. In a video like this, it will take you to the association's information page, the phdsgethired.com. As always, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.